Hey y'all, so I just wanted to jump on because it feels like the days are getting that much longer and that much more chaotic. And I still don't really understand if people are truly getting how bad these things are. So I wanted to talk to y'all for a second because I am truly emotionally drained. I have been super busy. Obviously, you know that we've got the caucus election that's coming up, and running for caucus office is different than running from office. I'll just say that there's a lot of other things that factor into why people cast the votes that they cast, but nevertheless, I thought about today, like, why it is that I feel so strongly about the things that I do, like why it is that I'm sitting in Congress, why it is that I would seek the oversight ranking position. And I think about the type of fight that I am ready to wage and looking for a little bit of authority to do so, as well as when you run a committee, it's a lot different from you getting an additional budget and all kinds of stuff. And I absolutely believe that I think outside the box. And I know that this moment requires out of the box, because nothing that is happening right now is normal. So we'll see. We'll see if the caucus gives me a chance. But I just want to know how y'all are feeling, because I know that right now, I started my day with them deciding that they wanted to bring Democratic governors in because they somehow thought they were going to shame Democratic governors and pretend that everything that is going wrong in our country is because of immigrants, and not acknowledge the fact that it's estimated that we're going to lose over $12 billion in tourism dollars. That's just the estimation for just this year, just for 2025. We know that travel from Canada, our neighbor to the north, is already down by 40%. I know that my city of Dallas is supposed to host more FIFA games than any other city, as we are anticipating, the World Cup. And I've had conversations with people that are saying that they don't feel safe coming to our country, and they don't feel unsafe because of the immigrants that this administration is going off about. They feel unsafe because literally you've got ICE officers en masse that are grabbing people up off the streets, leaving their kids, and they're literally over here just visiting. Like, the immigrants aren't the problem. The administration is. Like, the economy wasn't a problem that existed because of Joe Biden. It's a Donald Trump issue. We are less than 6 months in, and everything that could be broken, in my mind, is already broken. You've had an administration that has gone out and threatened members of Congress. Then they escalated and decided that they were going to arrest a sitting mayor. Then they decided that they were going to arrest a sitting member of Congress, or charge and indict a sitting member of Congress. And now you have DHS deciding that they are going to manhandle a sitting senator. I'm curious, how do y'all see this? Or you have a president who was not invited into a state or a city, because that's normally what happens when federal government comes in. You ask for help. Now, we do have states that have asked for help. We've got states that still have begged for emergency declarations, and normally the National Guard goes in and they help people out during those emergency declarations, and he's not giving it. He's not giving resources. He's not giving FEMA. Yet when the Biden-Harris administration was out here, he was over there lying and talking about how people not going and knocking on doors. Well, listen, you ain't giving out no checks. None. Even to your good Republican states. Go ask your former press secretary. The governor of Arkansas can't get what she's asking for. North Carolina can't get what they asking for. But I will at least say that these are people that voted for this guy. So maybe they are happy to not have their resources. But tell me how y'all are feeling. Because I really want to know. I really want to know because I am in the thick of it. And I have my thoughts and feelings. But like, I don't know if it's hitting y'all the same way that it hits me. Like, I'm just curious. Like, how do y'all feel about all of this? Are you getting scared? Are you feeling as if... And let me be clear. I don't want you to be scared. Because they want you to be scared. That's what they want to do. Like, everything that they do is about fear. They won this election on fear. They are now governing under fear. Like, if everybody is scared to the point that they don't do anything, then they win. But together, there's so many more of us together, right? And, you know, I can't say that I ever imagined this is what my political life would be like. I can't say that I imagined that this country would ever get here. I didn't. And so now it's a matter of, like, I don't know that there is a playbook for everything that we have going on because it's not just Trump. It's those around him. It's those that are sitting in the House. It's those that are sitting in the Senate. And they are just like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and pretend like I don't know what's going on. I'm going to mind my business over here. And I'm going to let him do whatever he wants to. Like, Democrats would definitely not do that because Democrats love eating their own. Like, let me just be clear. Democrats love eating their own. I feel like sometimes we eat our own before we will go hard against Republicans. But that's a whole other issue that I have. But I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments about how you feel. We need to get Kamala overwhelmed and sad. Yeah. I'm in Miami. I'm scared. Yeah, I know. What is the government going... But what is government going, I guess, to do to fix this? Listen, they are the government. The reason I've stressed oversight is because, well, the oversight committee is the one committee that has oversight over the executive branch. But right now, who runs the House? The Republicans. So the best that we can do is really do our own thing, get out on the road, talk to people, and highlight like just how bad things are and put some pressure in those Republican districts to hopefully get people that live in those districts to call their members and say, yo, enough is enough, right? Like, we know that they don't want to show up to like the town halls. In fact, just this week, I think, one of the Republicans that heads one of these committees that really deals a lot with this nonsense. I don't know if it was Homeland. I don't remember which committee. I think it may be Homeland. He literally was like, I'm out. I'm leaving. So they would rather just bounce. Now he's like, I'm going to do everything I can to get this reconciliation package done. But after that, I'm gone. Like he just got to Congress in 2018. And he is the chair of, I believe, Homeland. And he said, forget it. I'm out. And we actually lost some, like, the closest thing to being, like, halfway decent Republicans last cycle as well. Like, people that I would never think I agree with, but they just have certain principles around the Constitution and things like that. They were like, yo, I'm good on this. I'm out. They just leave. Instead of actually standing up and doing what's right and, like, honoring their oath, they just leave. They just run out. And it's not impacting a ton right now for the Republicans because we have 3 members on our side that have died. None of them have been replaced yet. And I think Texas is going to be the last one to be replaced. They're not even doing the election until November. And that's if there's not a runoff, since a lot of people have decided to get into that race. I didn't think this would happen this fast either. I want more people to become lawyers. I don't know what's going to be left of the law, but that's the only place that we are winning is in the courts. We know that a judge just ruled that a of course, the convicted felon was violating the law again, as he decided that he was just going to commandeer California when they didn't ask him to come through. So the courts are the only thing that are somewhat holding for us, which is crazy. I'm in anger. I get it. Yeah, I am, I would tell you this. It is important that we talk to everybody that we can, because for people to still try to pretend as if the only thing that matters is that they believe that one party is Christian and the other one ain't. My deal is, if you need Jesus, go to church. That's not what politics is for. I'm just saying, it's not what politics is for. We have this whole thing, like separation of like church and state. I know some people act like they don't know anything about it, but it's like a real thing. Like, and this is coming from a girl who considers herself to be a Christian, who is the child of a preacher. But like, I don't need you voting based on these things. I need you voting based on the things that the government is supposed to be doing. And right now, like, these things are not what the government is supposed to do. The government is supposed to be helping people, not hurting people. And that is all we see in the policies as well as in the actions. So like, I encourage you, for like, if you've got that family member who's been super MAGA, that you are like, okay, I don't talk to them. No, I need you to talk to them. Like, we need to have some real conversations. Like, I need you to educate them, because they are counting on us not to talk to one another. They are counting on us not to educate our friends and family who maybe got confused. Like, they need to understand that the things that are going wrong in their life, the costs that are going up, the housing that is unavailable, the expensive housing that we're going to have because of all the tariffs that we have put on everybody, and the fact that we get lumber and steel out of places like Canada, and you need those when you're going to build houses or you're going to build apartments, all that kind of stuff. Or the fact that I've talked to so many people in construction or farming that have talked about even their laborers who aren't doing anything wrong. They're not showing up because they're going and literally snatching even those that are U.S. citizens off the streets. Like, they are snatching any and everybody. And it is absolutely insane. If this was happening to American citizens in another country, it would almost be on the brink of war to just go and snatch Americans off streets, when we literally have gone through the government and gotten our student visas and all that kind of stuff. Like, it would be a whole thing. And like, people sitting around acting like this is cool. It's not cool. It's not who we are. Or maybe I thought it's not who we are. Anyway, I wanted to vent for a second. I also just wanted to see what y'all had to say. And yeah, I'm watching my friends, family, and members of the community are kidnapped off the street, and no one seems to care or be doing anything about it. Yeah, I know. I promise you, like, one of the reasons they came after the governors today is because they feel like the governors are not helpful enough. And I want y'all to understand that, like, the way that it works is that ICE, they are the ones that have jurisdiction over immigration. And when you have local law enforcement, they're the ones that are either enforcing the laws of like their city, their state, their county, whatever, right? And so you've got county sheriffs, you've got city municipal police, and then you've got, your state police, troopers, whatever they may call them, wherever you live. And they are focused on like their own specific kind of jurisdiction of law, which is not immigration. Immigration is a federal issue, period. But now they're like, you know what? Instead of running after that murderer or that robber or that rapist that, you're supposed to be investigating and figuring out, we want you to come and figure out if somebody's papers have expired. Like, even if they came here legitimately and their papers have now expired, we need y'all help. We need y'all to go and run and pull them up. No. Because if they are committing a crime, then if local law enforcement is doing their job, they gonna get them, because they don't not go after the ones that say have a certain status, right? Like, they go after who committed the crime, and then later on you figure out like what their status is, right? So like, don't get caught up in this bullshit about how like it is the job of local law enforcement to go and round people up on immigration stuff. No, that's ICE. That's ICE. Ain't nobody got to help you. Ain't nobody got to help you. Ain't nobody got to help you. If you want to be big, bag, and ignorant, go about your business, and other law enforcement can mind their good business and try to make sure that they're actually keeping their community safe. So, you know, it's tough because the election ended in a trifecta. And I think it's really important that we show up for all these elections. You got to show up for the city elections. You got to show up for the county elections. You got to show up for the state elections, because it's state, city, county officials that are really taking them to task by going to court, even though we don't talk about all of the court cases and all of the court rulings that are coming out. But that is where our wins are happening at this moment, right? And I just don't think we can wait to the midterms. So I just got to be real with y'all and tell y'all got to show up like now to all the elections, school board election, dog catcher election. I need you to show up. And then, you know, I'm not telling you that you have to necessarily believe in the Democrats. I'm not telling you that you have to believe in everything that we're fighting for. But I can tell you that if you want more of what we're going through, either don't show up or vote Republican. I don't really care how you associate yourself politically. I am telling you that if you want to at least stop some of this, you've got to make sure you vote for Democrats up and down the ballot. Up and down the ballot come the midterms. Like, legitimately. Like, Trump feels in his bones that he's about to lose, like, the ability to kind of just have feckless Republicans as co-conspirators, and that he most likely is going to lose the House, to the extent that he has called the governor of my state and said, you need to do a whatever we are. I'm tired, y'all. I'm sorry. I've been traveling all day and haven't eaten. I'm about to eat, though. My food just got here. But anyway, mid-decade redistricting is what they want to do, because he's like, I want to pick up more seats in Texas. To be clear, there's only, of 38 seats, there's only 13 that are Democratic at this point, and the other 25 are Republican. And if you do the percentages, that looks nothing like the percentages that say the Republicans win by statewide. It is already completely ridiculously gerrymandered. And they're just like, oh, okay, do whatever you can and try to get more seats. And I can tell you, I don't think that the Republicans are like feeling this, because they were already in some tight seats because of demographic changes. Texas is a majority minority state. So whatever they can't get, they just decide, okay, well, we'll just make it harder for people to access the ballot box, because they know that their policies are not made for minority communities. I don't really care what race you are. They're not made for us. Okay. So yes, we have No Kings coming up this Saturday. Please, I think it's nokings.com. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but make sure that you go check that out. Make sure you be safe. Be safe. Make sure that you, as you're out there, I would say, you know, there used to be these kits, these protest kits that they put together in the midst of George Floyd. I don't know if they started putting them together in this moment, but I think it is important, if nobody already has a kit together, that definitely somebody needs to create like the online kit of like things you need to have at a protest. It is really sad, but like, I just don't know what to expect nowadays. So you got to have something to make sure. I think you need some milk for your eyes. Potentially, you just need to have it, right? Like, you need to be prepared for all things. But whatever you do, make sure that you are not violating the law. And I will also tell you that most states have a law on the books that says that even if a law enforcement officer is, say, doing something illegal, you are not allowed to resist. I'm just telling y'all that I'm only licensed in 2 states. So and I'm not allowed to give legal advice nowadays or whatever. So this is friendly notes, I guess is what I'll say. It's not legal advice. But, but make sure that y'all have kits. Make sure that if there are attorneys that are organizing with y'all, y'all know the telephone numbers to those attorneys. If you don't know any, make sure you find an attorney. I organized, and it was all over the country, like pro bono services for protesters. You have every constitutional right to go out there and to do your thing, and I encourage you to do your thing. Make sure that they are not taking your constitutional rights away from you. But I want y'all to be prepared. Y'all know I show up to committee, and you know I show up ready, because I know that they are always waiting on me to slip up, okay? So make sure you, number one, make sure somebody creates a protest kit if there's not already one out there that tells you plenty of water. Make sure you have milk in case they do anything crazy as it relates to your eyes. Make sure, like what we would tell people during George Floyd, is we would write telephone numbers of important people like on our arms, so that like even if you're in a situation where maybe somebody uses something and you're unable to see for a moment, and somebody needs to call somebody for you and they can't get in your phone, you need to make sure that there's like, you know, somebody's contact information written on your arm, okay? I'm trying to think of other like tips. It's been a while since I've been in these streets, but just know I'm a real one. I've been in these streets, okay? Always make sure that you've got plenty of snacks, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when they're going to shut down streets, that kind of stuff, especially if you're like diabetic or have any other medical condition. Also, make sure if you don't have battery packs, like extra battery packs, get some, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, just make sure you are prepared, but do not let them intimidate you or scare you or silence you. Like, that's what I don't want to happen. This is our country, and we understand the Constitution, and we are not going to let this motherfucker, just because he just happens to be in the fucking White House, do whatever the fuck he wants to. That's just not what it is. And I know that the Supreme Court gave him way too much latitude so that he could just kind of be out here wilding. And I know that other courts let him like skate by not just taking this fool to trial where he could be convicted and hopefully get some time, because I don't know how he could have avoided time in 4 different jurisdictions. But at the end of the day, just because he says it does not mean that it's legal. We know that he has said over and over, I don't know if it's legal or not. And frankly, he does not give a shit. And that is the hard part about dealing with this person being in the White House, because we have never anticipated having someone like this in the White House. So just be prepared. Make sure you go and find out where the protests are. Make sure you have a lawyer ready, okay? Make sure you know the laws of protesting in whatever your city or county is. But please, please, please be safe. That is what I care most about. Because we have elected sheriffs that are wilding out and saying crazy things about running people over. Be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Let's see. All right, I'm going to answer one more question. What do we do? Oh, wait a minute. I'm losing it. What do we do? I see that. We need definitely answers. We need a leader. Please look to Chris Murphy. Senator Chris Murphy is phenomenal. And he's phenomenal. I don't really have anything else to say except he's phenomenal. It's going to take us uniting. And that means we got to get the people that we don't want to talk to and let them know that there's targets on their backs too. Like, that this isn't just us that voted for the black woman. It is all of us. And so it's important that we engage in those conversations. And yeah, we will most likely have, I think it will be clear who our presidential nominee is going to be a lot earlier than normal, way before everything officially kicks off, because I think whoever can emerge as the leading voice and the leading figure in this time will be the person that naturally the party ends up going with by the time they go through the primary process. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I think sooner rather than later. But I appreciate you all. I want you to have a blessed night. Literally a very long day between what they did to Senator Padilla, which legitimately ran me hot, to the hearing and oversight with the governors, to having to fly and get to New York because I've got a funeral first thing in the morning. So I appreciate you. Sleep tight, and let's keep up the fight.